Welcome to the bonus miniseries at the end of 10. For those out of the loop, back in 2014 when a HD remaster of this game came out, we started playing 10, and since then we've kind of been going down this list. So we finished 10, we checked out Eternal Calm, we spent a long time on 10-2, which is now just concluded, and now we're on Last Mission. Last Mission is a standalone game with some surprisingly awesome gameplay, actually. I really quite like this. It's essentially an 80-floor tower mission. The series should be pretty chill as we go through it, and I'll talk to you guys about some of the cool new mechanics. It plays very, very, very differently to the other games, but in terms of the story, it takes place about 3 months after the events of 10-2's ending. And there's lots of cutscenes. Back in 2013, the voice actress for Yuna, Riku, and Pain, they all returned after like 10 years. Like Tara Strong reprised her role as Riku. So you're going to hear the girls talk, spoken by their voice actresses after like a huge 10-year gap. It's going to be kind of cool. And generally the game's really surprised me. It's really, really enjoyable. And I've only just started playing it for the first time in my life as I begin recording this series with you guys. I only first turned it on last night. But it's that cool that I want to check it out with you all. I will point out, by the way, between these two, between X-2 and Last Mission, there is a novel as well. This novel released kind of in celebration of the HD remake. So in 2013, this person wrote a novel called Final Fantasy X-2.5, all right? Ein no Daisho. It was basically a panned novel. Everyone hated it. And I don't just mean Western audiences hated it here because we had a botched translated version. People just, even in Japan, hated the story. I'll talk about why that is as we go through Last Mission. But it kind of goes, you got 10, then you got Eternal Calm, then 10-2, then the novel, 2.5 Ein no Daisho, then Last Mission, and then lastly there's actually an audio drama sequel to that novel here at the end once we've done Last Mission. So yeah, anyway, let's check it out. There are some really cool cutscenes here, guys. I absolutely loved this. Honestly, as a fan of these games when I was a teenager, it feels really weird for me to have new content. What you're about to see was never released outside of Japan until this came out, the HD remaster. And obviously it's been scaled up and looks graphically superior and stuff. But I've never played it before until last night. It was so cool. These new places we get to go, these new cutscenes. Oh my god! Honestly, I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. The gameplay itself lends this to be way more relaxed. I'm expecting us to do about 10 floors an episode. It's an 80-floor tower, but we'll see. All right, so check it out. X-2 Last Mission, HD remaster. Data transfer we can ignore. We're going to go new game, and yeah, we'll just get in there. You guys might be surprised how different this is to regular Final Fantasy stuff. It makes me sad that so many people are like, oh, this game sucks. Last Mission is stupid, just because it's different gameplay-wise. But if you keep an open mind, you'll find that there's actually a really cool game here. So, 3 months after the end of X-2, the canonical ending is that, yes, Tidus and Yuna have been reunited. And check it out, we're at the Lucas Stadium. I'm going to shut up. With a big smile on my face, I'm going to shut up. And we're going to chill. This is some of the last story we will ever see in all of Spira.
I thought that we would always be together. Huh? Huh?
Whoa, Uni!
Riku, what are you doing here?
I was gonna ask you that! Here!
So you can hear how different her voice is.
Ta-da!
It must have been so fun and weird to reprise this role. You know?
You got one too?
You betcha! I thought it was just some stupid junk mail. It doesn't even have a return address on it. But I figured I'd come check it out, and I'm glad I did. It's been so long, Uni. How are you?
Good.
Only a few months.
I told myself we could see each other whenever we wanted, but time just kept passing. The letter said to check the 5th seat from the right in the front row of the East Block, right?
And that would be here.
Hello, Pain.
Long time no see.
You got a letter too, Pain?
Looks that way.
Has it been 3 months?
Who would send us three a
Feels
letter?
like more than that.
What are you complaining about? You two are the ones who got off the ship in the first place, remember?
I suppose some bonds just can't be broken.
Or they can, because you guys split up for 3 months for no apparent reason. You saved the world, and then you just all went about on your own way. But the cutscenes to this game as we play are going to explain more of why that happened. Oh, man. So check it out, we're back on the Celsius, and it's parked. What's kind of cool here is we were just in Luca, and this is now clearly parked at the Me and High Road.
Welcome back!
Thanks, Riku.
Where's brother?
He's out shopping with Buddy. Forget about that. Come on, Uni, read the letter. Read it!
All right, what are these mysterious letters we've had?
Oh, right.
I like how it's got a bird feather on it.
Travel to Utisur. Reach the top by powers yours and yours alone, and there will be something worth seeing.
That's it?
That's it.
Utisur? What's a Utisur?
Utisur Tower. I've heard of it. Only rumors, though. A ruined tower just recently discovered, so they say. I've got an idea where it might be.
Then let's go. Take the helm, Pain.
Me? I think brother will get mad if he finds out, won't he?
Pain as the driver?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Well, that settles that.
Wait!
Why?
R.
P.
Let's go!
I love the disdain in her voice. She hates it as much as we all do.
This doesn't look good.
Yep, so we just steal Brother and Buddy's airship, the Celsius, which, by the way, the story seems to have established as this ridiculously iconic, one-of-a-kind, unique machina that gives us an incredible amount of power and control. And check it out, see, we're on the Me and High Road. And it also slightly crashes as we move. Don't forget that all these cutscenes and things were actually made at the same time as the Fiend Tales, but there's obviously much higher production quality gone into these ones. It's so bizarre thinking about the voice actresses coming back. And here you go! Final Fantasy X-2 Last Mission. HD remaster. See, I've heard that this can go anywhere from 69 minutes, if you're very good at it and a little bit of luck, to 69 hours. I have no idea what we'll be like. I'm expecting about 8 videos, though. And hey, there could be plenty of cutting if there needs to be. That's, of course, not the only cutscene that will be available. And the funny thing is, I've spent so many years, guys, looking at the international features without actually being able to play them. And that word Utisur, all right? It was only last night, and only as I'm recording with you guys now, that I finally know how to pronounce Utisur. Seriously, look at that word. Utisur. I always used to say it was like the Iactia Tower, or Iactia, or Liact. I had no idea. So that was the best thing about that cutscene for me. For what it's worth, Almighty Shinra, the Fiend from the 10-2 Content International in the actual game, I knew him for the longest time as Strongest Shinra, because that's what people have translated it as. But check it out! We're in a new place! If you guys don't recognize that, you're right not to. None of these symbols and things on the floor are Yevon-based, by the way. So there's kind of a suggestion with this game that where we are is older than even Yevon. And there's a mysterious emblem we're going to see a lot of that is quite important. But this is a totally unique new area, right? Neither of the games before it have ever shown us a place like this. We don't know exactly where it is in Spira, probably somewhere around... I don't know. Speculation says the south because of the palm trees and stuff, but I don't know. Because you see big forests and stuff as you start to climb. Check it out! Look at how cool this is. This is the tower. Utisur Tower. And there's like an old Al Bhed sign.
It's huge.
Good thing we can just fly straight to the top.
Good point.
Now where's the fun in that?
Well, where's the fun in climbing?
Remember the letter.
Good point, Riku.
Reach the top by powers yours and yours alone, and there will be something worth seeing. We should do as it says.
Yeah, our power is the airship. What are you talking about? I'm defiant. Without the airship, I wouldn't have been able to do squat in the previous game.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, Riku. Damn it. I agree with her. We should just fly to the top. Let's not have a series. So here we go. Check it out. There is no triangle menu. You can pause, but there's no like extra menus at all right now. And that's because this is kind of like an interim area. We will return here every now and then, but this is outside the tower. And as you can probably guess, most of the game is inside the tower. Speaking about the Albed stuff, there's an Albed guy here. And the word Utasa, you guys might be thinking, that's an interesting word. It's actually an Albed word. And I believe it's like Albed for... It's backwards in Albed for phantom, I think, or something. So the idea is it's the Phantom Tower, and the fan translations always used to call it the Mirage Tower or Phantom Tower before. So that's kind of the idea. The Albed have clearly seen something to do with that. And there's a strong theme of Machina in here as well. In fact, the main thing at the very end of the game is heavily related to Machina. This building here is actually a shop, and this building here is like a bank for us. We can't access them just yet. Look at this pipe here, dropping the water down here. This is so cool. But here's this Albed guy, okay? Basically, he teaches us how to play the game. Classic Final Fantasy style. It's a big, bloated, long tutorial. There's some nice art in the background. But don't worry, guys. We're not going to read this through verbatim and do this all crappy. You've got me with you. So I will just teach you how the game works myself. And yes, this tutorial makes it look kind of weird, but it actually works very, very well, all right? Man, it's going to be so relaxing playing these. There's no, like, ridiculous amounts of prep I need to do. If you guys don't really know what I mean by, like, a roguelike game, it's maybe not a very good descriptor, to be honest. Here it says, head for the top of Utasa Tower. You can only use items you find in the tower. Individual skill is the name of the game, so you'll be alone, but can switch characters at certain points. Victory conditions reach the top of the tower. All right, first of all, you get to pick your girl. Yuna, Riku, or Pain. Who you pick, depending on your RNG and stuff in there, it could be the only girl you see for a really long period of time, all right? So I'm going to pick Yuna. Now, this affects, most importantly, your starting class. And I do think Yuna has the strongest starting class, but they've all got perks. Yuna's ranged. Pain has got a lot of health and durability. Riku can steal items, and that can be quite important too. But in the end, you can get Thief on Yuna and so on, just like in the regular game. It plays with the dress sphere idea in a really exciting way. So you tend to have this cool idea with the dress spheres, but a lot of players wouldn't ever really swap them mid-combat, but that happens a lot in this game. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so the game plays like the Mystery Dungeon games from the Pokemon series. It plays like Final Fantasy Tactics. Essentially, you move on a big grid, and if you choose to move or if you choose to take an action, then the enemies can move and take an action too. So I'll zoom the camera out here. And as you guys can see, we've got a fiend there, okay? So very basically, that fiend isn't going to move for as long as we move. Now, we can rotate, we can look around, but that fiend's not going to move as long as we move. But if we start running around the tower, the fiends will move as well, all right? You guys who watch my Grimrock stuff will be more than familiar with this. And basically, it's our job to climb the tower under these kinds of conditions. There are no random encounters, nothing of that sort. Now, where Yuna's looking, as you guys can see here, we get these blue boxes. The blue boxes demonstrate our range. Depending on the class you are, you get different ranges, you get different abilities. If I press X, we will attack. So I shoot, we hit the bird for 4 damage, then he gets a go. And what does he do? He moves towards us. Then we shoot, and he would get a go, except he died. But you notice that other fiend in the room was getting goes as we shot as well. You know, if I shoot over there, we can't hit him, but you'll see he moved. Now, he's not aggroed on us or anything, so he's just going to wander off. But that's kind of the way it works. And so this kind of big, obtrusive mini-map in the middle of the screen will show you where all the mobs are on each floor with those red boxes, and it can show our girl's range. So as you can see, you don't really have to rely on too much more than that mini-map to see what's going on. But you get some really cool, like, little environments here. And as you notice there on our left, as I'm trying to line up a shot on this bird, which we've now got, another enemy just spawned in the area. Now, you can miss with attacks and so on. I like Gunner for the early stages of the game. When you learn how Last Mission works, you can get some really cool combos. There are some really fun RPG mechanics in this, like really fun. And when you learn how the game works, you can... basically, the game gets easier as it goes along, in my humble opinion. Come on, we want to line them up. There we go. It gets easier as it goes along. So these early stages are the more difficult ones, and that's why I like Gunner, because you can keep range and you can stop yourself getting hit. Enemies will hit us for about 3 damage at the moment. I picked up some stuff. Actually, I want to show you guys something. I want to deliberately show you something bad here, okay? So, how do we die? Well, if we keep missing, say we keep shooting over here and that we don't hit that dingo, the dingo's going to hit us. And you can see my health just went from 16 to 14. And wow, we shot him accidentally in crit. I was trying to shoot to the side. Alright, so you can crit and you'll do lots of damage. Gunner's actually pretty good for crits. There are traps on the floor, which we just stood on, which is a sticky trap, which means we can't move. So we can't run away from this bird. I'm deliberately going to let the bird hit me a bunch of times here. Okay, so we go to 11 health. And I'll show you what happens. It's pretty cool. Just so that we understand the stakes here. Because I think if I play well, we're not going to see this happen too much. And I want you guys to all understand very well. You see Yuna's health is dropping. She's now... we managed to dodge that attack, which is very nice. There we go. We got 3 health. So the next time the bird hits us, we'll go to 0 health, right? Oh, he did 2 damage. Okay, so now we go to 0 health. When we hit 0 health... Oh my god, and we dodged! The game's being very forgiving to us. There we go. He will break our dress sphere. So we started as a gunner, but because our gunner lost all of its health...
I don't know what to do.
We are now no longer a gunner, and Yuna doesn't know what to do. Yuna's now a different class altogether. She's what's known as the Freelancer class. A class that never appeared in Default 10, too. It's exclusive to International, last mission. And the Freelancer class is basically you have no class. So you see she's wearing barely anything, right? So they got like this new outfit that you can see Yuna in. And as you're running around as a Freelancer, this is kind of, you get no abilities, no really great perks or anything. And you're on the brink of death, essentially, all right? There's a boo trap. We'll talk about those in a second. So now, if I die while I'm a Freelancer, we'll aggro this guy and then let him do it. You can see we got like a basic kick attack. You can see that as a Freelancer, I think we have less max health as well. See, we're dying a lot quicker. We miss. We get less attack. And when you die as a Freelancer, that is game over. That is how you lose. And I'm going to show this to you guys now so that when we go through the tower, obviously the worst thing in the world is to have our dress spheres breaking. All right? So there you go. Yuna loses consciousness. To lose consciousness means to get kicked out of the tower, to lose all of your items, to lose all of your gil and your levels. Now, there are exceptions to that, but you get kicked out, all right? Now, why doesn't the game just give you a regular game over screen and tell you to load your game like in the regular games? Well, because there is another mechanic at play, and that's that door it just showed us. So now that we're outside again, check it out. We can come in here before we start to climb the tower. This is our storage room. It's really cool in here. I love, again, it's just like you can see with all the international stuff. The devs are playing with as many assets as they can, right? So there's a little muck and a shopkeeper here. And this is our storage, right? So what you can actually do as you climb the tower, as you find items, as you find powerful dress spheres, because dress spheres themselves can be leveled and stuff we'll talk about soon. As you find rare gear and accessories and fun things that you make, there's a crafting system. You can deposit them in your bank, which means if you get game over, you can run into the bank, withdraw your best stuff, and then go back in. So if you get to a really difficult floor or something like that, this is the mechanic at play. So even though we died, when we start over again, we have kind of a leg up, right? And this is kind of a very roguelike-ish mechanic, right? Like, you go in, it's sort of permadeathy, but then you have more things. So this is our storage. This is our current inventory, which is totally empty because we just died. And it says leave store, right? And so then the muckin is going to leave us here. Look at all these cool things. Look at that little boo trap and stuff. So there are a fair few unique assets to last mission as well. And then if we come over to this room on the left, this is now also unlocked. You see a little bit of a loading screen there as well. This is the shop, okay? So you have an amount of gil. We've got 0 gil right now, absolutely none. But you can buy different things. So these items, we won't know what they are or what they do just yet, but there's a shop down here too. So if you get kicked out of the tower by choice or because you died, maybe, because there are ways to leave the tower with gil. We'll get to that when we get to it. It's hard when you start playing a game because honestly, it's like there's so much to talk about, but so little time to talk about it. And then we could just run back in and go climb the tower again. What I'm actually going to do is start completely fresh, though, because we actually lost some gil doing that. So I'll see you guys on floor 1 at the start of a brand new game, and we'll go properly now that you know the punishments and the risk of failure. Oh, there's something about this. It's just, oh, man. There's something about this that makes me want to 10-3 really bad. In a lot of these loading screens, you're going to be seeing an icon and an emblem of something that you guys should start wondering about. All right, so here we go. Oh, we do start with 0 gil. I'm a moron. All right, well, fine. Here we get a couple of dingoes. I think before we only killed birds. Should be able to two-shot pretty much everything. So this is Yuna's main advantage. Pain starts as a warrior and so on. Okay, so I'll show you guys something else here. Actually, no, let's just explore a little, all right? So each time you hit a new floor, okay, basically what you're doing is you're looking for an elevator. And when you find the elevator, you can use it to go up to the next floor. But you don't want to climb floors too quickly because all floors start with like items on the floor around them. You don't necessarily get items from killing mobs. You get items There we go. We killed that guy. He managed to evade one. You get them from each floor. So on this floor right now, okay, we started. This is floor 1, so it's very small. It's very easy to understand what's going on. Where do we want to go? This way. Right next to where we spawned in was the elevator to floor 2. I'll show you it in just a second. We'll clear this room out of mobs. Now, enemies can attack you diagonally, as you can see there. So we'll kill this guy. Little dive beak. You know, it's all these fiends on the early floors are like all super weak fiends. There's a huge variety of enemies that we can fight in this game. Like a huge variety. There we go. One of the main tactics, this is a lot like a lot like mystery dungeon games. Anything that's grid-based like this. Sometimes you might want to waste a turn so that the enemy moves into you rather than you moving into it. But here, check it out. This is an elevator. So when we're on the elevator, if we press triangle, we can say check, and you can use the elevator, and you can go up. So we could have done that straight away, but look, there's all this loot on the floor. So let's start grabbing loot. Let's see what we've got. First of all, there are foilies, is that? I can't remember what they're called, all right? This one here is basic healing, okay? So if we go information, this is how we heal up. We're going to be using a lot of this. It restores 30 health. Our max health at the moment is only 20 or so this is more than a full heal. Basic healing techniques that can be used by anybody. It includes information on how to treat minor cuts, bruises, magic damage, and much, much more. So this is a little book. Now, we only have 20 slots in our inventory. We've got this page worth of slots, which is 10 slots, and then we've got this page of slots. So one of the big things in the game is what items do you want to carry around and when. And that becomes more and more interesting as we go further along. Here we got a little potion on the floor, so we can pick this up. And this is an ether. Ethers work just like the other games. You have MP to use abilities in this. And if we go information, it says this restores 10 MP. It says restores MP by restoring your willpower. Refreshing taste with a little bites. I love this flavor information. I'm going to be in my element reading all the flavor information to you guys. It's going to be great. And yeah, it's weird that they use the term willpower there in this game. It's kind of very classic D&D. Here we find a sphere. Oh my god, that's amazing. And what we actually found was the mascot dress sphere. So check it out. In our inventory, we have 2 dress spheres now. We have Gunner, which is what we started with. And then we just got the mascot dress sphere down here too. All right? Which we'll have a look at in a second, all right? Mascot's a really good one as well, so we're very lucky. It was also level 2. But here, so we got a dingo. So for example, if I want to kill this dingo, we can just regularly auto-attack him. Or we can use some abilities. So if I press triangle, you can throw items, you can change your dress, or you can use abilities, all right? At any time. And if you look, when I highlight these, look at the blue squares in the background, right? The range changes. The cross shot will shoot in a cross. Statico will shoot just in front of us but do crazy damage. It costs 6 MP. And then you've got Fiend Piercer that will go through 3 enemies in front of us. So here's a Statico. And you can see we shoot loads of time. Each one did 1 damage, but it was more than enough to kill him. So if we ever find a dangerous enemy, we want to use our abilities against them. But don't use abilities willy-nilly because it's hard to come across ethers and keep your MP high. Then we get a save memo. I'll talk about the save memos later. That was another book, okay? And yeah, I can't remember. They give the books a really weird name in this game. Something, and if you guys are anything like me, intelligence-wise, you will never have heard this term before. It treats like normal. Now you can shoot and be attacked around corners, so you want to be careful when you get into small corridors like this, all right? So we only have 7 health now, so we want to be careful. Here on the mini-map, I've already identified there's an enemy to the right of me. You see that? So what I did was I used the mini-map's range as well to know that even though my camera's not looking, I can press X here and shoot whatever that thing is. Now, I'm on floor 1, so I know whatever that monster is, it's not going to be too dangerous, and there you go, we managed to kill it. And here again, using the minimap, I'm about to shoot another enemy. So you can kind of, as long as you use the minimap properly, you can save yourself a lot of aggro, pissing about with the camera and moving it a lot, and that will help you. So here's another dive beat, because we're in melee, this one's going to get an attack on us. We managed to dodge, that's fine then. But here's the thing, if we go to 0 health here, we don't die, okay, just like I showed you. We instead go to the Freelancer class. But what that does is that breaks our Gunner dress sphere. This thing in our inventory, it breaks it, gets rid of it. We cannot re-equip Gunner once it gets broken unless we get lucky and find another one on the floor. And when, you see how it says Gunner level 1? When we start leveling Gunner up, that's going to feel really bad. So ideally, you don't let your dress spheres break. If you're caught in very low health in combat, you can do something else, which I'll demonstrate to you in a second. We won't go too crazy. We'll go to floor 2 in a second. So this dingo here is going to hit me. Okay, so we're now on 5 health. We can kill him. There's another dingo. Ah, and we leveled up. There you go. So now, Yuna just hit level 2 there, which is great. That's not the same as Gunner getting level 2, by the way. All right, but now, and now you see we do double the damage and we can kill the dingoes in 1 hit, so we're not too threatened. All right. But let's say we're in this situation. I'm a little bit scared. I might miss that dive beak there. He might shoot me. So how do I stop myself from dying? Well, we sphere change. So you go dresses, And on the dresses menu, you see up at the top here, we have 5 slots. For 5 dress spheres, we can have equipped all at once. Think of this menu up here sort of like your Garmin grid, I guess, right? So you can slot 5 dress spheres in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the second slot and we're going to put mascot in there. And then even better than that, we're going to swap mascot from the second slot to the first. And now mascot is our primary dress sphere, the one on top. So when I say confirm changes, Yuna will spend her turn sphere changing.
So hot.
See? And she's now a mascot. And now our abilities are different. Now look at our health. We now have 48 health. So we just healed up. The Gunner dress sphere is still on low health. Can you see that bar that I'm zooming in there? That's showing Gunner's health. And you can see it's still low. But we have managed to get away from death here. And we've preserved the Gunner dress sphere. So now the bird ran away from us. But we can come over, hit him with the mascot dress sphere. And there you go. And now we're running around as mascot. See? Replete with little cutesy bouncy sound effect too. Now, what we want to do is kill a couple more dive beaks. We've spent way too long on floor 1. I'm gonna climb the floor in a second here, guys. Jesus Christ. It's always my problem. I never know when to start. So there we moved into the dive beak's range, so he got the first attack on us, but it's fine. There we missed as well. And we miss again. And there we go. The dive beak dies. All right, so let's go up. So we'll come back to the elevator. Now, we could keep fighting enemies here and keep trying to level, but there are mechanics in place that stop you being able to do that. We'll just talk about it later. So you got 4 options. Use an item, change your dress sphere, use an ability, or you've got check. Check only appears when you're on like a special platform. So here, right, this is just regular floor, and check we can't do anything. But over here, check is lit up. And when we do it, we see it's an elevator, and you can choose to use the elevator. So we'll choose to use it. And it takes us up. There you go, it's as simple as that. We hit a loading screen. Might be wondering what that weird, mysterious thing is in the bottom left. And we go up into a random area of the second floor. Cool. And as you can see, our mini-map, we need to fill it up and figure out what's going on. Looks like we've got a long corridor this time. This is kind of creepy, actually. Got a really long corridor. Oh my god, what is this? With no enemies in it, thankfully. Well, actually, I don't know whether that's any good. Oh, and then it ends in a dead end. There are secret rooms and all kinds of special things. You guys, there's a lot of different items. Much of it I still don't know about, right? But yeah, so we'll keep running along with mascot here. Back the other way, I guess, since that was like one long dead end. That's really bizarre. I've never seen a floor like this ever. Really curious. We'll come up here. Sometimes you can return to floors, and if you do, you might end up on the same floor, but at a different part of the tower. So here, as you can see, Mascot's obviously got a lot more health, but Mascot doesn't have the range advantage that Gunner did. So you're pretty much always going to risk taking damage every time you try and engage on someone. There is another thing, though, and that the fact that we're now a Mascot, if we go to our abilities menu, we'll see we get some new abilities here. We've got Moogle Beam, and Moogle Beam is a ranged attack. So we can use Moogle Beam here. Man, 17 damage. That's crazy. Obviously, from regular 10-2, that was a super powerful ability. Massive overkill on a damn dingo. Oh, we got Songstress. That's awesome. I'll show you guys that in a second. So we just picked up the Songstress chest sphere. We got remaking basics. And not only that, though, not only do we have Moogle Beam, but we get Moogle Mini Demi, which actually is super OP and can be used against the final boss. We get Jiggly Ripple, which pushes enemies away in all 4 directions. But then down here, you'll notice we also have Cross Shot and Fiend Piercer. So that's the advantage of still having Gunner equipped, right? Look at the slots again. We're Mascot primarily. So we get Mascot's health, Mascot's auto attacks, Mascot's abilities appear at the top, Mascot's stats. But Gunner is still equipped. And because Gunner is still equipped in our stack of dress spheres, we get to use Gunner abilities. So you can create this cool like combo build with loads of dress spheres equipped all at once. So if we go to slot 3 now, and we equip Songstress, we get even more abilities. So we can confirm it. We don't have Songstress as our main thing, but if we look at our abilities here, you got some Songstress stuff down here as well. You got Hyper Mode and Change Out. We won't talk about what those abilities actually do at the moment, because that's probably going to slow us down too much. But here you go. Here's the next elevator, straight away. Well, not really straight away. That was a long-ass corridor we found. Now, sometimes getting to the elevator isn't so simple, and sometimes once you get to the elevator, there'll be things preventing you from using it right away, so we'll have to be aware of that. So here, for example, I don't want to move into this dive beak, because if I move into the dive beak, he's going to get the first attack. So what I might do is just waste a turn by auto-attacking. Then he moves closer. Then I can do this. You see? And then we make sure we don't get hit. Oh, and perfectly he moved as well. Well, we missed. That sucks. Now we've got 2 enemies against us. Slowly, the enemies will start doing a lot more than just autoing us. But here we can see the problem with being surrounded. We also only have 5 MP because I spent a bunch demonstrating to you guys some abilities. So we'll have to be careful with that. But now this dive beak moved in perfectly in time. And there you go. That's not too bad. All right. And then we get... Oh, and then there's a rock up here. This appears as an enemy on the minimap. But basically, what it is it's a giant meat shield. I don't know whether there's a more important thing that you can do with these. But by breaking them, you can get like special items and things that might be underneath them. There might be extra loot. So we're going to break this before we go up the elevator just to see what's going on. And maybe kill that other enemy that's just respawned in the room while we've spent all these turns. So there you go. Finally, you can break it. We get oh my god, wow, this runs really good. This runs really good. And underneath, we found this, which says find secret rooms. If we say information, it says reading this tome allows you to set up the teleporter that takes you to the secret room. To get to the secret room, it's much more efficient to set up a teleporter than it is to keep walking around. This folio, that's what they're called, folios. I really don't recognize that word, but hey. This folio will make it simple even for beginners to set it up, all right? So this is a thing we can read to get to secret rooms, but we won't do that just yet, all right? God, there's too much to talk about. We're only on floor 2. We're only on floor 2, and we've got a lot of really, really cool loot. I'll talk about those weird markings on the floor soon as well. There you go. There's a crit from the mascot. Excellent stuff. If you're wondering how long it takes us to level up, you can always press triangle, and over here there's a status menu. Looking at the status menu tells you a fair few things about yourself. It tells you equipped dress spheres, and then at the bottom it also says current XP and how much XP you need to the next level, which is 12. What you want to do really is make sure you keep killing enemies to get experience. There are item drops in the game that just straight up give you XP. In fact, one of the cheesiest ways to beat this game is to never kill enemies properly, and I'll talk about that when we get there. Oh, there's a potion on the floor. Did we just walk past that before? Oh, it's a turbo ether. Okay, nice. The description for the turbo ether is pretty cool. But you want to keep generally on top of the levels, because as you rise the tower, you're going to have more and more and more dangerous enemies as you go. So you don't want them to be leveling higher than you, basically, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down as you get higher up. So there you go. We just reached level 3 as we get to floor 4, and that's pretty good. But there is a mechanic in place to stop you over-grinding. And I'll show you that at some point. But here we go. Elevator. Waste no time. Let's check. Go up. And up to floor 4 we go. The loading screen, actually, you see where that little blinking light is there? That actually shows our position. As we climb, that light will climb up the tower too, which is actually one of the more fun things about the game. There you go. Tower 3 floor. And we got a new enemy here. These are evil eyes. Or they're actually technically hazes. Now, what the evil eyes do is they have a ranged attack. So things are already a bit more interesting. We'll kill the dingo first. We should be able to one-shot all those original mobs. Is he in range there? No, he's not. He's over there, isn't he? But these guys have a range of like 3 squares. And they'll use this. Gaze. As you can see in the combat log at the bottom. The only thing I really don't like about this game's UI is the giant combat log, which is totally unnecessary and takes up way too much space on the screen. But that combat is, so there he used gaze. The thing is, the earliest evil eyes you find only have enough MP to use it once. So you don't have to be too scared, but it is a thing. There we picked up some basic healing. Here we find another sphere, and it's White Mage level 2. We get a lot of dress spheres. I'll show you guys how they all work soon enough. And we get another ether. So, let's go into our items. Ether, I already read the description. We'll drink that ether to bring our MP back up. Since we've leveled, our max MP should have gone up a bit as well. All right, 15, fine. But we're also kind of low, so I also want to heal up. So you've got this folios here, the basic healing one. I already read that as well. And when we say read this, okay, what it's going to allow us to do is select what we want to heal, right? Because you could heal regular Yuna as a freelancer class, right? But she's on 100% health right now because we haven't broken all the way into freelancer. But what about her dress spheres? She actually has multiple different ones, right? So mascot is the one we've currently got equipped. And you'll see it says that the mascot has 28 out of 48 health. But Gunner still only has 5 out of 16 health. Ah! So let's heal Gunner. And if you look, when she reads this book up at the top of her health bars, you see the Gunner health bar goes up. You see that there? So you can see the health of all the dress spheres all being represented at once. And now that Gunner is actually healed up again, how about we make that our main dress sphere again? And voila, we're good. We're back to the Gunner. We got our ranged attacks again.
Clothes don't make the woman.
But we have much less health, and that's because this is only a level 1 dress sphere, while mascot, if you remember when we picked it up, was level 2. All right. So how do we level dress spheres? If just killing stuff levels Yuna and gives her like more raw stats, how do you level the dress spheres? Leveling the dress spheres is arguably more important than leveling Yuna. Well, maybe I'm jumping the gun by talking about that. We'll see. We'll see soon enough. We'll be able to figure it out. There we go. Kill another evil eye there. We've got another Folios on the floor here. Let's pick this up. This is called the Dressmaker. That's pretty fantastic. I'll talk about that soon enough. It's another cool Folios. We've got a dingo there. Hope you guys are all doing good, by the way. Like I say, once the mechanics of this have been explained. There you go. There's a demonstration of his range. And he hit us pretty hard there. Fortunately, we can hit him back with our range. Oh, did we miss? There he tries to use gaze. Oh, he actually did manage to cast it. Oh, God, we've only got full health. All right, hopefully Yuna doesn't miss here. All right. What? Why has he still got... Oh, there you go. Ahairam doesn't have enough MP. Okay, good. So we can try... He's trying to range us down, but he didn't have enough MP. That is scary. He took a lot of shots. That's kind of scary. Is Gunner really that weak already? Christ, let's heal it up again. Don't be too scared about using basic healing. You guys all remember actually on the floor a second ago, we picked up the White Mage Dress Sphere. Picking up the White Mage Dress Sphere means we can actually spend MP to heal ourselves as well. There's a dingo over there. So what about these panels on the floor? What are these? Nice crit. Okay, what are these? Well, so basically these are traps. And you identify the trap when you stand on them. Sometimes you can't identify it until it's too late. But what this is, as you can see on the floor, is this is a boo trap. So when we stand on a boo trap, right, if we go check and we stomp on it, we can proc the trap. And what a boo trap does, or a boo tile, is it throws items from your inventory all over the floor, so that you have to pick them all back up. Now, later on in the game, we're going to have items that give us passives, like accessories and stuff we equip, and dress spheres. And then they can get thrown all over the floor. And if you're in the middle of the fight and you hit a boo trap at the wrong time, well, then you might just be screwed. Even worse, there are some traps that drop you down to a lower floor. So if you hit a boo trap and then fall down a floor accidentally, it will despawn all your stuff for good. So boo traps can be basically just anywhere from like slight nuisances to huge problems that you really have to worry about and focus on. So do consider that. I'm just going to grind a little more here. Maybe I should show you guys the mechanic of what happens when you grind too much. What happens when you spend too long on a floor? Like, this is quite a simple floor. It's all very simple at the start. What happens when we kill too many enemies? What is stopping us from just grinding Yuna's regular level? Not a dress fit level, but a regular level, like ridiculously high. There's another gaze, 4 damage. It's not too bad. As long as we can kill it in 2 shots, I'm not worried. And then the dive big, we can kill in 1 shot. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to grind here. Oh, here's another pad as well, by the way. If we walk onto this, and we stomp on this one, as you can see, it moves us. That's a leapfrog tile. The leapfrog tiles basically just teleport you to another area of the floor. Doesn't do any damage to us or anything like that, but yeah. So essentially with the Hirams, you're going to be trading blows. These are more dangerous enemies in most situations, unless you have some kind of like weird angled attack, of which there are a few in the game. Don't get me wrong. We're still on some of the most basic dress spheres here. But early on, you're going to be trading blows. You know, if we were Riku or Pain right now, who should I shoot? The Ahiram? No, I'm going to shoot the dive beak, because there was no guarantee that the Ahiram was going to turn around and aim at me. Here I'm going to waste a shot and see if he moves into my fire, which he did. Very good. He's going to shoot me. And then I'm going to shoot him, and if we don't miss, we should be fine. Okay, good. All right, okay, I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. Okay, we're very low on health. Okay, at least we dodged that at least. All right, so we only have 7 health. And the problem I currently have, I'm going to stop grinding on this floor. We'll talk about that mechanic later. Basically, an enemy will spawn that stops you from, that will be very, 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 very dangerous, that stops you from grinding for too long. So the problem we've got now is I'm on 7 health and I have no way of healing. So what can we do? We've got no items. Well, we do have White Mage. We have White Mage level 2. So let's go to dresses, okay? And let's add White Mage to our stack of dress spheres, as you can see there. I'm actually going to turn off Gunner as well. We're going to take Gunner away, like so. All right. Now, because we have White Mage, when we go to our abilities, we get the White Mage abilities on there. And you can see down here, you've got Curaga and Azuna. So you can cure your ailments and you get Curaga. Curaga costs 5 MP, and we've got 21 max right now. So this is one of your more reliable ways of healing up. Later on, you can get MP Stroll, which means that you kind of get infinite heals at that point. But there you go. And you saw that healed a lot. It healed for 71. Especially for us at this early stage of the game, That's absolutely awesome, and that's fine. Oh, God. Go away, Hiram. And that's the way we'll be dealing with this. Next floor. Okay, at level 5. Let's move on up. And slowly we're going to see more and more interesting fiends here. Okay, tower floor 4F. All right, what have we got here? We've got one bit of loot. So yeah, you can get the idea, right? Like, you can linger on a floor, but you'll never get more loot, and the loot's the important thing. Slowly, you're going to run out of ether, out of heals, and then you're going to start running out of ethers, or maybe you haven't even got lucky enough to find the white mage dress sphere so far. And the more you progress, the more you stay on that one floor, the more you might start running out of resources. All right, so you do want to find a nice balance. Here's the next elevator straight away. We could go up immediately, but remember what I told you guys. Here we're actually stood on a leapfrog platform, which I really don't like too much. Let's kill that dive beak. Oh, and here's another item. What's this time? This is called the dressmaker. That's pretty good. In fact, we've been really lucky on this run. This is my 3rd run ever of this. I did a first one where I was like a total noob and I was freaking out. I was super happy. And then I did, but I felt like I messed up a bit. I felt like I didn't do things quite right. So then I came back and did another run, and now this is my 3rd one. So with this rock, you'll see we do a lot more damage, but what we're actually getting as we do that damage is gil, because it's like a golden rock. So don't forget, there is a shop, and the idea is we do want to earn some money so we can buy stuff from the shop soon enough. That's why one of the cool strategies is actually to start with Riku. So there we move on to the leapfrog platform. One of the cool strategies is to start with Riku, because starting with Riku, she begins as a thief. You can steal items, but the thing is, there's a chance you can't get the steal. There's a chance that the enemy doesn't have anything, and then when you waste MP and a turn, and you take damage for it, and you don't even get an item, I feel like Thief's kind of like this really risky thing to use. I don't know, maybe there's some way you can get Mug in the game that I don't know about, but I don't know. I feel like early on, at least, it's much better to start off with Gunner, and I would still indeed be on Gunner right now, by the way. There, we picked up 2 basic healings. Except that this mascot dress sphere, we got lucky enough to find a level 2 dress sphere on the floor. And and Gunner's still only level 1. We will level Gunner up eventually. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Alright, let's do this one. Did that Hiram just respawn? Why isn't stuff dying? Oh god, we're in danger here. So now you're going to see I actually get... Oh, I could have got attacked by the dive beak and the Hiram at once there. Damn it. Ariman? Maybe that's how we're supposed to say it. Ariman? My god. So many problems with pronunciation. For real? Ariman? Is that how you're supposed to say it? I mean, what does Ariman even mean? What does a Hiram mean for that for as well, I suppose? Alright, so there you go. Managed to clear all these mobs out. Got the pile of gold that was in the room. It's only 12 dropped gil. I feel like so far in the lower floors of the tower anyway, getting gil really is not that fun. At all. Anyway, what we got? Got another little leapfrog platform. We don't want to worry about him. We probably want a Curaga, but how much MP have we got? We've got 12 MP. All right, so we go abilities, Curaga, mascot. There we go. All right. I thought that leapfrog was going to trigger there, and that would have really sucked. Okay, so we're at the end of the floor. We can go up the elevator. I do want to show you guys something, though. That is one of the perks of Songstress. The different classes obviously have different auto attacks, different abilities, all kinds of cool stuff. There's a lot to make them distinct, right? But if we actually go Songstress, Songstress has a really interesting, very quirky ability, okay, called Change.
I hope this will do.
Called Change Out. So, Change Out. Change to a different character. Costs 2 MP. But if we do that, we can swap...
Switch with me.
Completely...
You want me to sing?
To one of the other girls. No, I don't want you to sing Pain. So now we're Pain. And this is such a cool way of using the dress spheres, because obviously in 10-2, they had all these different animations, all these versions of every dress sphere for every girl, and in the Yusita Tower, you can actually kind of experience it for any of the girls that you like. So now we can just keep climbing as Pain. You'll see Pain's the same level as we got Yuna to. Pain has all the benefits. And that's kind of the way that the 3 girls work, and that's how you can have all 3 of the girls. It's bound to the Songstress dress sphere, though. So if you don't really care about the flavor of that too much, you can just kind of throw Songstress away. Not that Songstress doesn't also have some abilities of her own. So yeah, we could put Pain on Gunner. We could put Pain on whatever. Here we go. We're on floor 5. We're on floor 4.5, as you can see up there. Floor 0.5, every time you hit 5 floors up, it gives you a chance to save, and it gives you for free, I should point out, and it gives you a shop. Now, this is the very first shop of the game. It's actually very, 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 very difficult to have any money for anything worthwhile here. So we've only got 100 gil from where we came from. We've got some stuff we can buy. I can pretty much tell you guys we don't care about any of this. But what you might want to pay more attention to is selling stuff, all right? Because some of this stuff we don't need, and our inventory doesn't have too many slots left in it, and you're just going to start dumping stuff on the floor. So, what do we want to sell? Well, I'm going to sell the wind droplet. We'll read the flavor text and stuff later. This isn't so much for money. This is more just to get some value out of it. We're going to sell the silence juice as well. And we're going to sell the viper extract. Instead of us having to just throw it on the floor later. These other things I think's okay. They're all things that I want to show you guys. We'll hit cancel there. And there you go. We can leave the shop. So you get a little bit of a break every 5 floors, basically. If I was smart there, when I climbed that elevator, I would have said climb and save. And I didn't, because I'm a moron. But so you get a free save game every 5 floors. I'll show you the other mechanic at play here. And there we go. We go up onto floor 5. And we get to play as Pain. Cool. Alright guys, well, hopefully the future episodes I won't have so much to explain. I guess we'll leave it there for now though. There's some cool stuff. There's a few more systems like crafting and some really cool cross-class combinations I want to show you all. Hopefully you're following me. Definitely as soon as the mechanics are kind of explained, we'll have, you know, a bit more of a relaxing time. Very cool cutscene coming up next episode as well, when we get just another 5 floors, which really doesn't take very long at all. I'm surprised it took us this long on this episode. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying. I'll see you tomorrow.
So, what have you been looking for, Riku? Some machine sunk in the sea?